Okay, guys, back to my 2000 VFR 800 fuel injected. If you can remember from the previous videos, my girlfriend and I had a wreck Christmas Eve. It had gotten to 75 degrees here Christmas Eve, record-breaking temperatures. Everybody was out riding. It was awesome. It had rained the day before, but the roads were drying up pretty good. And we were good while we were, out on the main roads where it was dry. We took this little back road to cut across, and the road was a little wet, and that didn't bother me because I got those new tires on. But we popped up over this hill in a sharp left-hand turn, and we were leaned in pretty hard. Not going fast, but still leaned in pretty good. And there was some mud on the road where somebody had delivering the mail. They get down in that little sloppy rut and they come back out on the road, and we hit that, and I immediately tried to straighten it out, stand it up, and I headed for the grass, this little field. I thought I was going to be fine, I was going to hit that and just slow down and, say, shoo. But then what happened, the front tire caught the rut where that vehicle had pulled out, and it just catapulted us down to the ground, slammed us. The bike hit the embankment, spun around back out on the road. She was okay. She somehow hit her chin on the inside of her helmet. It's probably, not tightened properly, I guess. But if you watch the videos, I kind of talk about it. A mile before that, this is no bullshit, there was an intersection. We were on this road for a mile. I noticed she didn't have her gloves on. And I said, because she's holding my waist, I said, "Where's your gloves?" She said, "I didn't want to wear them. I left them." So I took mine off and I gave them to her. And I said, "Put your damn gloves on. This is bad out here." And whatever. She's got armor jacket, full face helmet. And sure enough, man, a mile later, bam, man, we're down on the ground. So she made out pretty good. She had a little bump on her chin that went away in one day. I'm still not, fully healed. I tore the hell out of my shoulder. Of course, I wasn't wearing my gloves now, and I had a sweater on because it was too hot to wear a jacket. I did have a full face helmet, but I hit a little bit of the gravel when we went down. She never let go, man. She held on. She squeezed her thighs and held on to my waist the whole time until we hit the ground. We kind of got ripped apart. I could see her head like spinning around. She rolled a couple times. But when we went down, she never let go. So I took her and my weight on my shoulder, and I should have went to the hospital because it's still not right. But I'm doing the best I can. So, all right, enough of the downside of it. I'll maybe talk more about that some other time. For those of you who remember, when I bought this bike, it already had been laid down numerous times. I got it for $500. Both mirrors were broke off. The battery was dead, and it had a lot of road rash on it. So they had not repaired the road rash. They had started to sand it and fill the body, and that was about how far they got. So they don't have touch-up paint for these because it is a 3-stage candy pearl. Those you don't know about paint or whatever, you get a base coat, then you get a candy, and then you clear it. So 3 stages. So believe it or not, that crappy looking yellow is what they tell me this is in a touch-up can. And you can see the difference. So basically all I've been doing is I patched the mirrors up originally. It went from looking like shit to looking kind of nice to back to looking like shit again. But this video is about what I'm about to do, the customization. But anyway, so I just kind of, it was still warm out. So of course, me with my limp arm and everything, I come back immediately and I kind of scuff it back up and touch the paint up. Now this one piece cracked really good. And what I did was just temporarily, you can see in the other video, you look back and see the crack, but I took it off and I welded the plastic back together, and I do it with and it's trying to focus. I do it with a soldering iron is how I do it. And so this has not been touched. It hasn't been sanded, filled, or anything. That's what the crack looks like if you just solder it and then just pour paint on it. I mean, that's basically what I did, just so it wasn't so noticeable. So if you look at the other video, I don't know why it's just not wanting to focus. It's because of the light. It's a reflection. There you go. See, you can see it real easy when you're up close, but you can't see it when you're too far away. And that hasn't been sanded or nothing. I just did that so I could go right back out and ride. It took me, about 2 hours to patch it up, and I put one mirror back on. They broke, and they're actually epoxied. I'm not afraid to show you because I'm getting all new stuff. I'll explain that, of course, without a screwdriver. There we go. Let me pull this up. Okay, that's JB Weld, baby, at its finest. Holding that mirror on there. Man, this thing is just not focusing today. Sorry, guys. It's the lighting, or maybe I got something smeared on the lens again. But anyway, so it's sacrilegious to do anything to these bikes, to customize them, to put stickers on them, or anything like that. And I can understand why, because, you know, I'm going to get some shit started here, but this is the best motorcycle ever built. And I say that because it gives you the best of both worlds. It's got everything, okay? I don't like the VTEC motors, okay? That was the next generation. I don't like, you know, too much of this, you know, ABS brake systems. I like to control my bike. This is about the end of that era where you still have some kind of control of your own motorcycle. It's the first fuel injected motorcycle I've ever owned, and oh my God, I love it. Costs a lot more to work on it, but unreal response, reliability, starts every time. It high idles and warms on its own. It does all that stuff. It does have the linked brake system, so when you apply the front, it's like 75% front, 25 back. The numbers probably aren't right, but it's something like that. So this thing is phenomenal. I have bypassed the computer on my own. I talked a little bit about that. So what that's basically saying is, without that, what happens is that to keep you from killing yourself and for fuel economy reasons and all this other stuff, once you get certain speed, certain RPMs, road speed, you know, all that stuff, it goes into a closed loop circuit where it doesn't really allow you to pour your own fuel on, because this thing makes some serious power after 9,000 RPM. It's crazy. So they cut them way back from the factory. This is it's like 11 6-to-1 compression motor. It's gear driven cam. It's stroked out. It's basically a 750 stroked out. These were designed after the 750s, which dominated racing forever. Okay, so this is like, take, you know, that dominating 750 engine and make it 10 times better. You know, I'm exaggerating, obviously, guys, but that's what it is. And then they detune it, the hell out of it, so you don't kill yourself. Well, I just untuned it, and so I could kill myself on it. So I'm not trying to, but maybe, you know, fuck, it might happen. Who knows? But anyway, the reason for all the stickers and all that stuff is it was a little too tame looking for me. And if you've ever watched the movie Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, they say in the movie, hey, you know why the Yankees always win baseball games? And the guy's like, because they got Mickey Mantle. He's like, no, the other team couldn't keep their eyes off the stripes. Their uniforms were stripes, and it was true. And a lot of people didn't know, but it subconsciously and subliminally, too much coffee, it distracted them. And basically, the stickers and stuff on here are to make it look a little more aggressive, because I ride aggressive, it sounds aggressive, and to take your attention off the fact that it's kind of crappy. So, you know, that's just my way of kind of making it my own. And I got a little bit of attitude, you know, I'm a little bit pissed off at the world, and, you know, so anyway, I'm kind of, you know, that's just the way it is. So, I'm about to do some customization on this. I want to kind of shoot it before I do. I looked into doing the cheap China plastic, the ABS crap, and I've had some good luck with that and some bad luck. You know, it's like $450 for a decent setup. And I think what I'm going to do, I did a lot of research, and if I had a Hayabusa or an R1 or a Fireblade or whatever it is, I would still have to make that bike faster, because that's the way I am. And I want to make this bike a little faster because that's the way I am. And when I did some research, and I found, as everybody who is into racing and making engines faster and all that, there's nothing cheaper than nitrous oxide. Okay, They have a dry kit that you can put on any sport bike for around $450. And basically all it is it's a spray rail or just two nozzles. It depends which kit you get, that you screw into your air box, and it's got a tiny little bottle. It's dry. It's real cheap. It's real easy to install. And I looked at the dyno work on it, and for the least amount, well, I mean, you can put less, but they got like a 30 to 40 horsepower kit that's only like $450. Well, I'm talking rear wheel horsepower. You can go with a wet kit and go from 75 up to 400 horsepower kit. Okay, this engine can't handle. I mean, I wouldn't do that to this motor. 30 or 40, it's fine. They ran tests. They did like I can't tell you how much testing, and it's completely safe. The motor can handle way more than that, but you know, that's all I want. I just want a little extra when, you know, just to feel it and have fun, and you know, street racing or whatever. It is what it is. So I'm going to take that money and I'm going to throw a little nitrous kit on it. And I think I'm just going to repair this plastic real good for right now and do a little custom paint job, and probably polish the frame, you know, do a little work to the wheels. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there, but just kind of want to, you can still see the mud. I mean, we were covered in mud. There's still a little bit on the seat. I mean, I haven't. Here, you can still see, look, there's grass still in there. See that? I don't know if it's focusing. Man, what the heck is going on here today? You can see the mud. You can still see that crap. You see the lever, the little scratches on it. There you go. Yeah, it's trying to focus a little. And like I showed you, that crack I repaired. Okay, there's some scunned up mark. See the crack there by the headlight. See the crack there. Come on. Man, you gotta love autofocus. Technology's awesome. But anyway, yeah, it's busted up a little bit. I mean, even when I touched that up, I didn't even care about overspray. I got overspray on the forks. You know, I didn't care about that. Just from a distance, I wanted it to look good. I wasn't putting it in a show. Flying down the road, it scratched my stickers all up that I had on there and shit, you know. So, you know, I'm just kind of rambling on. I had the cover, got all ground up, so I just threw some little black paint on it so you couldn't tell. That was already damaged to the exhaust. You can see that there. That was already there from the previous owner wrecking it. There's still some mud underneath of there. You know, there's still some mud on the tires, and you know, it got ground up back here. You can see that rear peg got ground up. You know, I don't know how fast we were going at the time. Right before that, I mean, I'll admit to you, and my girlfriend's attest to this. Before that, the one road we were on, we were jumping, wheeling. We were having fun. There's a road that just got a bunch of little jumps, and you know, we were just getting about 18 inches off the ground. This is two people now. I mean, we're aggressive riders, man. She loves it. Just a little thing too, you know. She only weighs a little over 100 pounds, so it's mostly in her boobs. But anyway. You know, we're aggressive. We wheelie, man. We ride hard. We jump. I mean, we do all that. We were carrying on like hell right before that. And then, like I said, I told her, you know, we stopped and I said, you know, we came around this one corner not long before that, and a tractor had come out of the field and drug mud across the road. But luckily I saw that in the distance, you know, because we were approaching that area and I could see his mud tracks. They were light and they were getting darker. So I knew somewhere along the line we were going to cross it. So we got to the next stop sign, and I noticed she didn't have her gloves on. I'm like, where's your gloves? She said, well, I didn't feel like wearing them, so I left them. So I took mine off, and I said, put these on. She protested. She was mad. Cars were behind us beeping. I made her put them on. Sure enough, we go through that intersection, cross the road. We don't get another mile down the road, and bam. So, you know, she hit the mud, but you know, I'm just glad she had all of her gear on and everything. Now, of course, I didn't have my gloves on. I got chewed up a little bit all down my arm, and I had a sweater on. You know, I wasn't geared up like I should. Full face helmet, though, you know. But anyway, so, you know, that's kind of the new plan for this. I appreciate you all watching. And, you know, I've gotten some good comments, you know, when I did this little burnout video and stuff, and one guy said, rest in peace, VFR. You cannot, this is a Honda, man. Come on. you can't hurt these things. You keep proper oil in them and stuff. They put rev limiters on them for a reason, you know, and I ride aggressive. I don't want a show bike at all. I want to ride it. I mean, everything I've ever owned, I ride it. I run the piss out of it. I'm a mechanic. I can fix it. Just like this, you know, I'll patch this thing back up and, you know, she'll live again. But I'm hoping the next video you see, actually, she looks a little different. I'm going to start working on it. I'm going to, you know, see what I can do. You know, I want to do some extra stuff to it, you know, maybe something different. I don't want to tell you yet. I'm going to surprise you a little bit. I'm not sure of the paint scheme yet. What I'm going to do, I do have a little dent in the tank. You could probably see it there when I got it. There you go. See that little dent right there? Looks like a big dent in that corner. So I'm going to get that out, get some mirrors for it, fix the plastic up, throw the nitrous on, polish the frame, you know, do some stuff like that. And, you know, I'm going to put a little love in it. This is, you know, it's probably the best motorcycle I've ever ridden. Now, when I say that, once again, it's not because it's the fastest, handling the best or not. It's the best of all of that. And, you know, I don't want to get into the debate about it. I'd love to have a Fireblade. You know, I'd love to have a 929 RR is what I'd like to have. That's just one of the best. I'm not a Hayabusa fan. You know, more power to you guys. I don't have nothing against them. One of the guys commented, "It's no Busa." Well, no shit. I don't like Busas. They're too big. They're ugly. You know, that's my opinion. I want a bike that I can ride and handle. This thing is amazing, man. We've went to New Jersey Bike Week. We've rode down to Shenandoah National Forest. It's kind of like a Tail of the Dragon kind of ride. It's back four switchback. A lot of, you know, wrecks down there. I mean, we took this thing down there. We rode 8 hours down there, rode all that and rode back. You don't get hardly uncomfortable at all on this thing. Except when she slides down into you and you smash your good stuff on the tank. But other than that, it's just an amazing, amazing motorcycle. I will have many motorcycles again, like I used to. And this just will always be one of my favorite, you know. So, you know, you guys can hate it. You can do whatever. But I want to give this bike the attention it deserves. And, you know, just get her fixed up. You know, and keep you guys posted. You know, it's probably just going to keep on progressing. Eventually, this thing will probably turn into some kind of showpiece because the more money I get, the more I'll end up putting in it and, you know, fixing it up and everything, even though I still like to ride it. So just stay tuned. I'm going to try to get some tutorial type videos with stuff I'm doing. But, you know, as you guys know, I'm filming with my phone. It's the only camera I got. I don't edit anything. I don't even get on a computer hardly anymore. Everything's on my phone now. You know, it's just crazy. But so this is just all raw footage. Sorry, I wish I could edit it. You know, make them for you. Maybe one day I will. So this is just straight up raw footage. 2000 VFR 800 fuel injected, best damn bike ever built. Stay tuned.